Have you ever opened a notebook and written things you wanted to do, but never really did? Things that felt right, clear, almost possible, but somehow they stayed on the page. Kartik was not a weak student. He was just average. The kind of student who always felt he could do better if he really tried. One day, during his final exam, he sat quietly, staring at the question paper. The questions were familiar, but when he tried to write, nothing came. Around him, pens were moving fast. Pages were turning, but Kartik stayed there, stuck on the same question. When the exam ended, he walked back home slowly. Inside, one thought kept repeating, "This is not who I am." As soon as he reached home, he went straight to his table, opened a notebook, fresh page, and he began writing. A perfect plan. What time he would wake up, what he would study each day, how he would finish everything. Then he wrote the marks he would get in each subject. 90, 92, 95. He looked at those numbers and smiled. For a moment, it felt real. That night, he slept peacefully. The next morning, his alarm rang. He opened his eyes, picked up the phone, and pressed snooze. Just 5 minutes. He turned to the other side and went back to sleep. When he woke up again, morning had already moved ahead. He sat up quickly, felt a little panic, then relaxed. "I'll start in the evening." That evening never came. He went out to play, came back tired, ate, and slept. The notebook stayed closed. After school ended, Kartik got average marks. Not bad, but not enough for a top college. When he started looking at universities, a new tension slowly came in. Cut-offs were high. Competition was real. For the first time, he felt something different. Pressure. He realized. This time, things were not simple. Then he found out. There was an entrance exam. And suddenly, he felt a little relief. I still have a chance. This time, he actually started studying, not just planning. He sat with his books. Even when he didn't feel like it, he revised again and again, trying to not miss anything. Days passed like this. For the first time, it felt like he was serious. For the first time, it felt like he was trying. He booked his train ticket, packed his bag, and left for another city to give the exam. That could change everything. He reached the city. By evening, the place felt unfamiliar. New roads, new faces, everything slightly different. He checked into a small hotel, put his bag down, sat quietly for a moment. No noise, no distractions, just him and the exam waiting for him tomorrow. He opened his books, pages filled with formulas, concepts, things he had practiced for days. He started revising, slowly, carefully, making sure he didn't miss anything. Time passed. He checked again, then once more. Even the smallest details felt important now. There was a slight nervousness inside him, but also a strange kind of hope. This time, I've done enough. He looked at his bag. Everything was ready. Admit card, pens, notes. He picked up his phone, set the alarm, placed it beside him. then lay down. His body was tired, but his mind was still running. Thoughts moving quietly, about tomorrow, about the exam, about what could change. After this, he closed his eyes, and slowly, sleep came. Morning came, and the alarm rang. He slowly moved his hand, picked up the phone, looked at the screen, and without thinking much, pressed snooze. Telling himself it was just a few minutes, he turned to the other side and closed his eyes again. As the room became quiet and time kept moving, he slipped back into sleep without realizing how quickly those few minutes were passing. Hearing a knock on the door, he woke up suddenly and sat up, confused for a moment. When the knock came again, he got up quickly, walked to the door, and opened it. The hotel staff was standing there. "Cleaning, sir." Still half asleep, Kartik nodded, not fully aware of what was happening. As he turned his head casually and looked at the time, something inside him froze. He quickly grabbed his phone and tried to switch it on, but it didn't respond immediately. His fingers started shaking as he pressed the button again, trying to make it work. When the screen finally lit up and he saw the time, his heart dropped. The exam was in 10 minutes. For a moment after seeing the time, Kartik didn't move, as if his body had gone blank. Then suddenly, everything hit him at once, and he grabbed his bag in a hurry. As he tried to gather his things, books slipped and papers fell, while his fingers trembled and refused to steady. Without checking anything and barely holding it together, he rushed out of the room and ran down the stairs. Stepping outside, he looked around quickly for an auto, but finding none, his breathing became faster and heavier. Calling out loudly, he finally managed to stop one and rushed inside, asking the driver to go as fast as possible. For a brief moment, it felt like he might still make it. But then the auto slowed down and stopped in the middle of heavy traffic. Looking at the unmoving road ahead and then at his phone, he felt his chest tighten as the seconds kept passing. Sitting there with no control over what was happening, his panic rose, and then suddenly, everything inside him went quiet. As everything inside him went quiet, Kartik sat there, staring at the road while the noise around him slowly faded. In that silence, his thoughts didn't rush, they became clear. He saw himself waking up in the morning, picking up the phone, and pressing snooze without thinking. He heard his own voice saying, "Just 5 more minutes," again and again. He remembered all those days when he believed there was still time, when delaying things didn't feel like a decision, just a habit. Sitting there now, he understood something he had never seen before. This was not about today. This was something he had been repeating for years. Every delay, every excuse, every small habit had brought him here. Now, there was no later left. The plan had always been there, but his habits had never changed. And in the end, it was never the plan that decided his life. It was what he did every single day. Maybe this is not just Kartik's story. Maybe you have also sat with a notebook, written a perfect plan, and felt for a moment that your life was about to change. And maybe you truly meant it. But slowly, without realizing it, your days started looking the same again. Because life does not change in one decision, it changes in what you repeat daily. A plan can give you direction, but it cannot carry you forward. What actually moves your life is the small things you do without thinking. The way you wake up in the morning, the way you delay things, the way you tell yourself that there is still time. Those small actions do not feel important in the moment, but they quietly become your future. You don't live your plans. You live your habits. And one day, life does not show you what you wanted to become. It shows you what you practiced being. So maybe you don't need a better plan. Maybe you just need to do one small thing differently tomorrow. Because in the end, your life is not decided in big moments. It is built in the smallest choices you repeat every day.